Hey everyone, welcome to In the Lead, episode 44. I'm Sean Dominski and I'm here with Tyler Zai. And today I want to talk about something that often gets overlooked in real estate marketing, especially with online lead generation, and that is the importance of the design of your website. But first, I want to bring up our show sponsor, Audible.com. You can get your free audiobook just by signing up at easyagentpro.com/audible. Now, each week we like to bring you a recommended book or resource, something that we're reading and think you'll benefit from. What book do we have this week, Tyler?
Yeah, so one of the things I really think we've been pushing on this, and I released a video. If you didn't check it out, go to YouTube, check it out, or you can find it on the blog, one or two places. But it was about how to increase your real estate salary and 4 ways to do that. But one of the ways is increasing the frequency with which people do business with you. And real estate investors are like all over these places. So here's another book on real estate investing. It's called The ABCs of Real Estate Investing by Ken McElroy. Just like this one's super simple. Let me see here. It's 163 pages, and like just gives you like some really like each chapter could just be like a real estate investor's blog post. Like if on your lead site you can make a category for investors, write up notes from each chapter and have like 6 blogs under there, share them on Facebook, share them in Facebook groups. You know, there's probably a Facebook group for real estate investors, and everyone's always like, how do you get leads on Facebook, Tyler? And like that's how you get leads on Facebook, is by writing up a summary of his chapter on the difference between swampland and land that grows in value, or real estate properties that grow in value. Just take 5 minutes to read that 20-page chapter and another 30 to 40 to write it into nice bullet points that are digestible, and you're good to go. So highly recommend it. It's just super simple. I mean, you could blow through that like over the course of 2 coffees at Starbucks on a Saturday. So really good book.
Right. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out too. That's not connected with the Rich Dad Poor Dad series?
It is. Yeah, it's connected with that Rich Dad Poor Dad series,
his name being thrown around. And obviously Rich Dad Poor Dad is a great book. Many people recommend it as not the Bible, but the intro to like stage of wealth and moving on, and really running a business and stuff. And a lot of people credit that book for getting into real estate, which is super important. But it's definitely not something you want to stop at. You want to keep your education going as far as real estate investing goes, because a lot of people, whether or not they actually become real estate investors, want to invest in property or want to work with someone who does, especially a real estate professional. And by having an idea of how real estate investing works, it's just going to up your profile as
or just make a list of real estate investment books and put it on your website and like say, how much credibility that builds? It's just, it's insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right, guys. So if you want to check out the audiobook version of that, you can get your free audiobook at easyagentpro.com/audible. So, all right. So today, moving on from real estate investing, I wanted to talk about a topic that is pretty obvious, but often gets overlooked in online lead generation, and that's the importance of design of your website. And is design even relevant anymore? Because all we talk about is traffic, lead conversion, relevancy, copywriting, stuff like that. But you get away from some of the simple things, and we spend so much time talking about lead conversion that we take the emphasis off of web design. But but the purpose behind that isn't to say it's not important. The purpose is that it's so important that once you get there, what do you then do after? But some people they need a good looking website.
Yeah, it's like the starting point. Like it's building block number 1 of like even those two suggestions, those 2 things that I just said 30 seconds ago, 3 minutes, however long ago that was, I lose track of time. You cannot go do those 2 marketing tactics unless you have a good looking website. And if you have a good looking website that builds trust, that people, feel like they know you before they contact you, that has lead capture on it so that you can follow up with them, and, maybe some tracking or texting capability so you can convert more of those leads, like that, it all starts from the good website that you wrote the list of 10 best real estate investment books on, right? so that when they read that post, they're like, wow, this is great, and wow, this website's great, because most of the local websites that you're competing against aren't great. It's the Coldwell site or the Keller Williams site that they provided you with, and it's only going to get you so far.
And if you think about it, it's kind of like showing up to a networking event wearing, ripped jeans and old shoes and covered in dirt or something like that. Like,
yeah, you could have read every real estate investment book, but it's not going to matter if that's what you know.
But it's all about what the expertise and how you talk and what you say. But if you never actually get to that point, if you can never actually get to the point where they're going to click on that page, recommended book resources, or give you the opportunity to show what you know, then all that's really for naught. And really, so I came up with a couple different reasons why you should, why you should be focusing on at least having, like what makes a good website design and what you should be focusing on.
So what makes a good website design, Sean? Sum that up in 2 seconds for us.
Yes, seriously. The first thing we were talking about was credibility. So really, clarity leads to credibility. Your website design should make things as clear as possible. I was doing some research earlier this week, and what I was finding out was there was a study done by Adobe, which makes a very popular suite of products. We use them all the time here at Easy Agent Pro. But what they were saying is, given 15 minutes to consume content, 2/3 of people would rather read something beautifully designed than something plain.
Sure. Yeah.
So it needs to at least look good and appeal to them, because if someone only has 15 minutes, which a lot of us is busy, that's super important. And then also they said 38% of people will stop engaging with a website if the content or layout is unattractive.
Yeah.
So, and we've all seen these. You have like words going all the way across the page. It looks like it was built in 1997, and it could have the best quality, best stuff, best content in the world. But if you can't even get to the content because it's so unattractive and so hard to navigate, it's going to it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, totally. I couldn't agree more. I mean, we see that even if you look at Easy Agent Pro's blogs over the last 2 or 3 months, you'll notice we start using more actual web design elements like CSS and HTML in the actual copy of the content, just because of that we find it increases your Google rankings and the amount of time on site, right? So we're putting effort into designing the blog elements. And I actually found this ridiculously designed blog. I'll link it up in the show notes, but it like literally has animation. It was like a list of like the 6 ways to, it wasn't saving for, maybe it was saving for, I don't know, something financial. 6 ways to do something financial. I'll link it up in the show notes. But it literally had like these magicians carrying coins across like each of the 6 things, and there's animation. But I guarantee you the time on that page, compared to a time on like just a plain text page on maybe like Yahoo News or something, where it's a little spammy with ads and whatever, I guarantee you that's 2 or 3 times longer. Mm-hmm. And because of that, you're going to get so much better Google rankings. And Google rankings, like we discussed like 2 or 3 episodes ago, that's the sustainable way to build traffic, right? Like you can get traffic from Facebook, but that's going to be in a spike. Like the first day you share it, and then it's going to decrease in consistency from there. But if you get traffic from Google, that's going to start really small, and then it's going to increase exponentially from there, right? So it's the design is just so crucial when it comes to that Google traffic and the consistency of your website ranking on page 1, 2, and 3.
Right. So the other thing I was going to bring up is that design helps you stand out from your competition too. And if you're in an office, I mean, you think the average office size is somewhere between 30 to 40 agents, with the big mega offices where you have like 200 agents, and then you have some small brokerages that might have like 3 or 4. But like in general, if you think about it, there's probably about 20 to 30 other agents within your office. If you're in a franchise like Keller Williams, or what's that? United is another big one where they're just massive size office exits, stuff like that. And then obviously Century 21 and Weichert and Coldwell Banker. But a lot of times, we'll hear from people. It's like, oh, well, my broker gives me a website. It's like you have a page that has your picture on it, but it looks like just about every single other KW agent or Coldwell Banker agent in the entire world.
Right.
So think about from just your office, alone, you're competing with, you know, if you're a KW, you could be competing with 100 other agents who all have the same site with a different headshot, but, you know, all have this, you know, and when people come to the site, the biggest issue isn't necessarily someone finding you in the search engine, coming to your site and thinking, oh, this looks like all the rest. It will look good. The biggest thing is when you have a friend who's like, hey, you know, so I have a friend, you know, I have a friend who might say like, hey, you should check out Sean Dominski. He's my realtor. You know, definitely someone you should give a call. Whether or not they have my phone number or not, they're probably looking me up online.
Yeah, they're just Googling Sean Dominski instantly.
Exactly. And if they're finding a bunch, if they come to a website and it looks exactly like every other website, they're thinking, oh, okay, he's, you know, it doesn't make me look that important.
Yeah, maybe they don't think anything negative. Like let's say let's say best case scenario they don't think anything negative. It's not anything positive either. So it doesn't help you build that unique difference that, you know, you can provide.
Yeah. Now, if it looks like crap, then yes, it will think something negative. So at least, you know, a broker's website are usually kind of clean, but it really doesn't say anything about you as an agent. And that's what, since most, you know, regardless of the internet, most business these days still comes from referral, you know, and that's a major factor of real estate and probably will be for a long time. But the difference is that now, even when someone's being referred, they go and look it up online before they give you, and they're looking for that credibility that can be built online before you even get a chance or opportunity to talk to them. So the other thing I was going to bring up was the functionality of a website. Now at this point, most websites are mobile responsive, which is a little bit different than what was it called? Mobile.
They were doing mobile sites for a while. Now it moved to mobile responsive. In the future, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, because we're moving to a position in web design where it's actually moving to like app-based websites, where websites you interact with are more like apps than they are the historical view of websites. So the way we at Easy Agent Pro see this all going is that basically all real estate websites in 5 years from now will be apps. And so that takes a little bit to wrap your mind around what that actually means, but that's how we're building lead sites, is for it to be an app in the next 5 years online. Because even if you look at, let's take something like Evernote or Google Docs or Gmail, those are websites, but it's an app that you're accessing online. And that's sort of the direction that all web design is going, both services online and just free content websites. So you really need that functionality of your website. It's not like mobile responsive is like the just getting started. You know, it's really gotta be there.
And that's going to also be because of follow technology too. So obviously, responsive wasn't a thing before. We had mobile optimized when we only had smartphones.
Yep, and then we had like mobile sites, and then
right, and that's what it was. It was just that mobile site. It was a different website that just was a lot smaller. Then we got tablets, and now instead of just having big or small, we had all these different sizes in between. Yeah. So now mobile responsive is what you would want. In the future, you're going to be accessing the internet through your TV, through your,
Amazon Echo.
Yeah, through your Echo, through your slow cooker, through your Nest, and I'm not saying that all that's going to be real estate related, but the internet's going to get a lot different than necessarily sitting at a desktop. So when I was doing my research, I saw that, first of all, 13% of adults access the internet via mobile only. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't seem like a whole lot, 13%, but this is people who don't even access the internet through their computer, are only using their smartphone. All right, guys. Well, I hope that helps you get an idea of the importance of what great web design and the elements that go into that design. Before you invest in sending your traffic to your site, you have to make sure you have your own beautiful lead capture site for your business. If you don't already have one, head over to easyagentpro.com and schedule a call to get your site up and running as soon as possible.